Food is more than just what's on our plate. It's the places where it's grown, it's the people who grow it, and so much more. Join me, Janice Person, your host, on Grounded by the Farm every other week as we talk about the foods we love. Hey everybody, this is Janice, and for this episode, it's the final one of the year, the final one of the season, and we're talking holiday foods again. I had so much fun working through that last episode with a lot of friends sharing their stories of the holidays that I asked my mom to join me for this show. So this will be a follow-up, really personal version. This summer, I got to talk to my brother on the podcast. So I'm slowly recruiting family members, each one by one. And my mom, what I wanted to talk to her about is, it seems like the holidays have evolved a lot in my lifetime. And so since my mom's a bit older, I figured, whoa, I'm probably missing some stuff that happened in the family. So mom has taken time to remember what holiday dinners were as a kid. And we'll talk about how it's changed over the years and some of our favorite recipes. We'll start out with what I know is one of our favorite family recipes. Mama mentioned having it with my sister for Thanksgiving yesterday, and it's the dish I took for Thanksgiving at a friend's yesterday, since we're not actually spending Thanksgiving together this year, Mom. It's unusual. The last several years we've had each Thanksgiving together. But you had cranberry salad, which is a recipe we all agree is grandmom's. Did you guys have that when you were a kid?
No, I don't remember it back that far.
Well, it has canned pineapple, and I'm guessing canned pineapple wasn't quite a big thing in in the days before good canning, right? So pineapple probably wasn't really popular around the table.
I remember the cranberry salad coming out somewhere probably in the 70s.
Yeah. So I could remember that if I was paying attention to groceries, I guess. So it was adapted somewhere in then. So what was on the table? Since that's one of our favorite things, and your dad was a butcher part of the time, right? So I assume there was some kind of meat.
Oh, we always had meat. We may have not had a lot of other things, but we had meat. Most of our holidays included either a turkey or ham.
Was there always a big discussion over who gets white meat and dark meat?
You better believe it.
Okay, what did Granddaddy want?
Granddaddy just wanted meat. I think mother usually liked the white meat. The boys, Larry, quite often he and Rick would fight over a leg.
Yeah.
Which I never wanted a big old turkey leg.
Yeah.
I take some meat off the leg and the thigh, but I didn't want the whole bone thing.
Yeah, that's funny. Turkey legs are still a thing at the fair and all too. I'm not necessarily a big fan of holding a big leg of turkey, but it works for some people.
Yes, it does. We always had the cornbread dressing along with the turkey.
Okay.
Sometimes sweet potatoes, candied sweet potatoes,
Mm-hmm.
and green beans. That type of stuff. Of course, the vegetables kind of rotated over a period of time. But Mom always fixed some pies or cakes, and once in a while she'd fix Daddy's favorite, a jam cake, which takes a lot of time and a lot of trouble, but that was something he loved, so she'd fix it for him.
Yeah, so like big dishes that we have now were missing from the table. We were just, when we were talking before this, we started talking about some of the things that we love having on the table, like macaroni and cheese, and that wasn't a thing.
No, I really don't remember much mac and cheese when I was growing up.
I don't remember us having mac and cheese on the table a lot when I was growing up either for holidays. So we always did.
We had meat and potatoes.
So with ham, did y'all make potato salad? Because that's my favorite.
I don't remember that for holidays. I think we probably had mashed potatoes.
Wow, a holiday without mac and cheese or potato salad. It doesn't sound much like a holiday.
Well, they have changed over a period of years.
Since you mentioned dressing, and our family still really loves dressing. It's the southern side of us. We don't do stuffing the way some people do. We did cornbread, and then we also put biscuits in there. So we have both, regular biscuits as well as cornbread. Did y'all make it the same way when you were a kid?
Oh, yeah. Make it the same way as we do today.
It's all those kinds of breadcrumbs. And what else?
Onion and celery and all kinds of seasoning.
Some eggs, some of the turkey stuff.
Right. And my daddy was always the official dressing tester.
Oh, he got to taste it to make sure.
Yeah, if it passed his inspection, it was okay.
I could see Granddaddy requiring that.
Yeah.
That's funny. I can see him being a handful of that. So for people who don't know, my granddad had a voice that kids always thought was really gruff, kind of intimidating, deep voice. And if he said, I have to taste that before you put it in the oven, it would probably make me shake as a kid. He'd definitely get to taste it before it went in the oven if I was nearby. The family kind of all lived right there together when you were little, right? Or at least most of you lived in the houses next door and stuff? Your extended family?
Well, yeah, my aunt and uncle and cousins lived next door to us. And most of my other family were in the general neighborhood, not that close, but.
Yeah. So did you see a lot of them over the holidays?
Normally, yes.
And now the family's scattered a lot. It's a big difference.
They're all over.
And that really happened when I was a kid.
Right. Yeah, my brother moved to Texas and took his crew with him.
Yeah, and with 6 kids, it was quite a crew. But they'd come back at the holidays, sometimes at Christmas for a week or so.
And the cousins would have a ball.
Yeah, with 4 of us and 6 of them, it was always a little bit bedlam. But those are the Thanksgivings and Christmases I really remember. And they were so big, we often had both a turkey and ham.
Right.
Because we had so many people. It's easy to go ahead and make both, which is why I can be on the ham team for the holidays. We frequently just have turkey with family if it's smaller sections of family. And then we do the big family stuff sometimes now. Part of what was fun to me is see how things had evolved over my time. Because I think as we started doing holidays, as Ray and Cheryl got older, we started splitting out holidays with their in-laws and stuff. With Cheryl would come to town. She lived out of town by the time I was in high school. And she'd spend part of the holidays with her in-laws and part of the holidays with us. And so then slowly some of their holiday foods migrated into some of our holiday foods, I think, like that pink stuff kind of thing that, her girls always liked that their other grandma made. So we kind of picked and chosen from some of the different families, I think, at this point.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Kind of blended some of them in.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I remember a lot of times our family at our house would host a lot of meals. So we would invite both of our grandmothers to our houses.
Right.
At least for Christmas, they might come and stay over for Christmas, or one of us would go get them early in the morning or something.
Yep, they were usually there for Christmas morning. And Tony would always bring her cinnamon rolls that had currants in it. And Janice would always say, I don't like raisins. And Noni would say, they're not raisins, they're currants.
Yeah, Noni was my dad's mom, and she did not have the redheaded streak that my other grandmom had, but she would argue with me anyway. I can remember once or twice she left currants out of some of them just for me. But she really thought they had to be in there. But they would always bring a dish or two. I can remember your grandma, bringing over like chocolate pies. Those were some of my favorites that she would make.
And ambrosia.
Oh, yeah, the ambrosia. Yeah, I bought stuff to make ambrosia the other day, but I haven't done it yet. You have to section all the oranges, and that takes a long time. It makes my hands tired. But I did buy it.
We had some yesterday.
Did y'all really?
Yes, ma'am.
It's
Mighty good.
oranges that are sectioned, pineapple and coconut, a little bit of sugar, maybe sometimes. Anything else I'm forgetting?
No,
That's
it's
pretty much
usually
it.
about as much pineapple as there was oranges. It was usually pretty much even.
And that's really good for breakfast the next day.
It's just good anytime.
But when it sits together, like it's not as good when you first make it. It needs to sit together for a little while. So make it the day before or something, just like the cranberry salad.
Yeah.
Give it an overnight in the refrigerator is best.
Let all those flavors meld together.
Exactly. So the holidays when I was a kid, what I remember is big turkey, big ham, dressing, sometimes sweet potatoes, but more frequently, if we were having ham, we would also have potato salad in a certain bowl because we always loved it. Lots of the rolls that had the split top that's like 4 or 5 sections, so you could pull them apart, brown and serve rolls. I remember those. Green beans and stuff like that. But it would end up a lot of desserts and a lot of meat, potato, a lot of carbs.
Yeah, we like our carbs.
We have a lot of starches. It makes us happy. And a lot of dessert.
Yeah, sometimes we'd have pecan pie, apple pie, cherry pie, and maybe a cake or so. Yeah, we like all of them.
And then as all of us were growing up and moving out and changing different things, we all started moving in all directions. Some years we've had smaller Thanksgivings where you and I might go to a restaurant or we get it catered. So you and I don't have to do all the stuff. And other years we have huge Thanksgivings because we split holidays with others and their families. So every other year we have the world's biggest Thanksgiving that becomes the thing that everybody knows us for. Yesterday, they were asking, are y'all going to play Hungry Hippos at Christmas? Because we like to have those really big family holidays because now we have a much bigger family. You have 4 kids, but now kids have kids and those kids have kids, and we have a lot of people in the family. It's a big family. We keep adding. We've got another new one this year. We had a new one last year. And we keep getting married people in too. So we're getting babies and spouses added now.
Right. It is growing.
So now I think our family holiday dinners are really unique. One of the things that changed, I think, with my generation is having, and it's really Leslie, but is having holiday specifics for New Year. So as a kid, I can remember going to the cousins for New Year's parties.
Yeah.
But I kind of remember that the way, and you'll tell me if I'm wrong. I kind of remember it the way we used to do all kinds of different receptions and stuff, a lot of finger foods. So you didn't really make a plate for New Year's.
No, you just snacked
Yeah.
all night.
And everybody would bring some things to add to it. And most of us, were happy to eat whatever other people brought because we'd been eating our own holiday foods for the whole week. So it's a lot of different sweets and a lot of different savory pieces that you could pick up and walk with. But with Leslie, she developed different holiday traditions for the family because her kids also do Japanese traditions. And so New Year's is a big thing in Japan. A lot of the years we also celebrate New Year's Eve with Leslie and her kids, right?
Right. Except now they're in different places too.
Yeah. So it's the next level of it. We always had like sukiyaki or something really traditionally Japanese. That's a sort of time-intensive dish too. So it's something that you do extra special for the holidays. Noodles. We have black-eyed peas cornbread. You weren't as all in on that as some Southerners, Mama. Do you not believe in good luck coming from eating black-eyed peas?
Yeah, I just didn't always fix them.
We had them most years. It just seems some people think they can't breathe if they don't have their black-eyed peas, and that never was the case for us. We thought we'd be okay. Do you remember around Christmas and stuff as a kid? Do you remember much around gift giving and stuff like that? Because it seems in our family, it's gone from small gifts to like crazy buying to like contracting back down and being a lot more reasonable with our spends. When you were a kid, were there a few gifts for you guys under the tree or?
Yeah, it was usually a few.
Yeah.
Like one year, I remember I probably first or second grade, I think the main thing I got was a brand new doll. And other than that, I don't know that may have been a couple of small things, but not like people do today.
Yeah. Did you guys do stockings back then?
Yeah, but they were mainly filled with fruit and nuts and hard candy.
And we still do fruit and nuts in ours.
Yeah, along with a bunch of other stuff.
Along with like Burt's Bees, chapsticks, kinds of things. Did you guys put up a tree for Christmas?
Yeah, we did. My uncle, who lived next door to us, had a brother who lived out in the country, and quite often they'd go out and cut a tree and bring it in. We had an open fireplace, and quite often we'd break off branches and throw it in the fireplace and smell that good stuff.
Oh, that sounds really nice.
Really smelled like Christmas then.
That sounds really nice. I hadn't thought about that. I have an open fireplace, but I don't ever use it for that stuff. Maybe we can do that this year. Do you remember you were married and just early having kids? How did you decide what all you wanted to do at your house, or were you doing stuff at your mom's house?
Well, we kind of went back and forth there for a couple of years, and then it kind of ended up after several years, it became my place.
Yeah.
That was probably after Daddy died.
Yeah, because Grandma was by herself in the house, and you were the only daughter, and you lived in town, and Dad, and it was easy instead of moving all four kids.
Yeah.
And Dad's mom didn't have any daughters. She spent holidays with us a lot of the time too.
She had all boys.
Yeah. Well,
Frank was the baby.
And Frank was the baby. My daddy was the baby. He was the spoiled one, the one that she let his hair grow long, all that stuff, because she wanted a girl. That's what I'd say. But I think that it's really different now how much the holidays we have, not just the girls cooking.
Right. The whole family pitches in now.
Especially, when you look at Cheryl's kids, I think, Brandon brings a lot to the family. He brings that banana pudding that we all love. He may make the best greens out of the whole family. Lisa says he makes the best greens. Lisa would have otherwise probably run that. And she loves doing all the cakes and pies and everything. So now we can pull on a lot of people since we have a big family. Different people can do different parts of it, right?
Right. I remember during the holidays, back in the day, when I was still at home, quite often we'd bake cookies and make chocolate fudge and divinity.
Oh, yeah. I had forgotten about making divinity. When did you do,
Yeah.
when did you make divinity? Was that just in like the 70s? Or did y'all do that before that?
Oh, we did it before that. Quite often Mother would do it during the holidays. Somewhere between Thanksgiving and Christmas, we'd end up doing some baking and making candy. One year I remember she put cherries in the divinity, which was really good.
So did the cherries make the divinity pink?
Yes, ma'am. We had pink divinity.
Did y'all put pecans in it too?
No.
I
don't remember putting it.
I can remember occasionally Aunt Sue putting some pecans on it. Like, and maybe that she had put the divinity out and then put pecans on the top or something as she was. But I do remember making divinity with Aunt Sue now and then.
Yeah.
Well, what else should I be asking you about, Mom?
I don't know.
Well, I appreciate you sharing some of this. It is fun to see how much it changes, and our family does holidays with another family pretty often. So we sometimes we have multiple baked turkeys as well as fried turkeys as well as ham, because sometimes we do huge holidays. And in those times, everybody brings their own unique traditions together. It's kind of fun, though, because then we get to pick among all the traditions. We have a little bit of everything. I think that may be my favorite way to do holidays. Because we get a big crowd is always fun. So whether it's Thanksgiving or Christmas or some other point in there, for us, that's always the big pieces. When does the big family get together versus we'll do fun, small, intimate celebrations the other time. Thanks for talking through this with me, Mom. I appreciate it. I think people enjoy thinking about how different it was in, say, the 30s and 40s versus the 70s, 80s, and now. It's a lot of change, a lot of different foods on the table. I do remember a lot of oranges, a lot of citrus fruits when I was a kid at Christmas, because that was like when we would get all the Florida grapefruits in. We had family in Florida, and did Uncle Jimmy send those sometimes? And sometimes like the Boy Scout troop had them or something. We'd have grapefruits and oranges.
I think the Scouts were probably the ones that were selling the fruit there. Yeah. I don't remember Jimmy sending any, but he may have.
I may have just put that with him because I knew there was trees down there. Having been to Florida a couple of times, we knew that was there. But yeah, it's a big change. It's fun to see how food traditions change and morph around and all that kind of stuff. I like some of the old school and some of the new school too, because I do like having mac and cheese on the table. As you gathered, we're at the end of this conversation with my mom. In the time since then, I've pulled together some family recipes and photos. All of that will be up on the blog along with the content for this conversation. We'll include that link in the show notes. You can always go to groundedbythefarm.com to check that stuff out. Just a reminder, we are taking a bit of a break before we go into season 4. We're going to make some fine-tuning kind of tweaks and be right back. Can't wait to talk to you guys then. In the meantime, you'll be able to find us on social media, Grounded by the Farm, wherever you are. Thank you, and have a great holiday season. I'm looking forward to it with a little extra time off. Thank you.